Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Morning English. This is Colin.
This is Winter. Hello, everyone. 欢迎大家收听今天的早安英文。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
So, Winter,
Yeah?
recently I've had some English conversations with some local people, and I can feel that they're uncomfortable when they don't know what to say. They get almost panicked.
啊，是的，就是我们说的那种尬聊嘛，尴尬的要死的聊天。
Yeah.
那我们要怎么来跟像你这样的 native speaker 聊天呢？怎么把这个天聊下去？
Well, we're going to talk about this in today's podcast.
好的，我们今天呢就来跟大家聊一聊，我们跟 native speaker 聊天的时候怎么样才能够避免尬聊呢？
So, sometimes I have been asked some awkward questions. Either they're too political or maybe too personal, and I would call this a conversation killer.
I like this phrase, conversation killer， 就是把这个 conversation 直接kill 掉。
Yeah.
就是话题终结者，一说出什么话来就直接把天聊死了。
Like the other day,
Yeah?
A girl asked me, "How many Chinese girlfriends do you have?"
OMG, I don't dare to ask you about this one.
Well, you could
Yeah.
because you're my friend. But this is a complete stranger. I never met her before. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Why
What
is she
a
asking me such
conversation killer.
Yeah, it's conversation killer because it's too personal a question.
So, what are the appropriate topics to start the conversation?
For example, you can talk about the weather. Like, this weather is crazy. It was so cold yesterday, and today it's so warm. I hope it stays warm, don't you? Or you could talk about arts and entertainment. For example, latest movies and television shows, popular restaurants, popular music. And don't forget sports topics, such as favorite teams, sporting events, tournaments, and so on. In general, you need to talk about some neutral and relaxing topics which are not that personal or controversial.
我明白了。总之呢，就是不要去聊太隐私的话题，我们可以聊天气或者娱乐，比如 latest movies、TV shows、网红餐厅等等，或者跟男生就聊 sports 各种比赛。These are good conversation starters. Alright, 我们说到这个避免尬聊首先最重要的一个问题就是要避免出现那种空气突然安静的状况，对吗？
Yeah.
最怕空气突然安静。
Well, that's a problem. You can't be completely silent when you're thinking. Because the other person doesn't know that you're thinking. They don't know, maybe you didn't understand. You have to give them some indication of why you're not speaking.
就是我们不说话的时候，也要给人家一些 indication， 一些提示。
Yeah.
可是怎么给呢？
Well, when you're thinking, you can use some filler words or sounds. You know, words like the Chinese sometimes say naga.
Yeah.
These are fillers, but they're important because they tell the other person that you're thinking and you're going to say something, so they wait for you. And they'll use just body language too.
Body language.
Yeah, so, you know, if you move your hand over your mouth and look off a little bit, it looks like you're thinking.
OK， 所以我们要用我们的动作或者是一些这种 filler words well, all right, I think this kind of things,
Yes.
right? 去告诉对方我在想，而不是说 completely silent.
Yes, or you can repeat the question. This shows that you heard the question, and perhaps you understand the question, and that you're thinking about it, and it gives you time.
All right, well, good to know. 你看我学得多快，全是 filler words.
Well, another important rule of talking to an English speaker, I would say, is to avoid the mindset about speaking English that you have to be perfect in order to speak English.
Yeah, 就是我们不要太过分在意自己的英文是不是已经 perfect 了，才能开口说，不是 perfect 才能说的。
Well, native speakers of any language don't speak their own language perfectly.
对，因为我们在网上啊就看到一个就是成都的卖货大姐，她跟 native speaker 说话的时候啊，就是非常的自信有气势，虽然英文并不是 perfect， 但是一点都不尬。
Yes, but she's speaking English for the right reasons. She's not trying to speak perfect English. She's trying to sell something. She's using English to get across her content.
Yeah.
This is important. Like
Yep.
what I would rather speak to someone who speaks poor English but is interesting to speak to than someone who speaks perfect English and has nothing to say.
So 最重要的呢，其实是你说话的内容，你到底是想要说一个什么样的事情，什么样的故事，达到一个什么样的目的。
Yeah, yeah. The topic, the content is more important. Now, native speakers, look, if you're trying to speak like VOA or a BBC speaker, this is not many people can speak like that. It's like if I'm trying to speak 普通话 from CCTV news.
新闻联播。
That's right. What do you have to score in your on your 普通话 examination to speak for CCTV news? Like 95%? Well, that's not what most people can do. So, look, don't be afraid. Just speak.
All right. 刚才我们说到了跟 native speaker 聊天的时候呢，我们可以用到一些 filler words 来避免那种完全的沉默，而且呢，我们还要避免自己说这个害怕说英文，总觉得自己英文不够完美的这个思维陷阱哈。
Yeah.
那我们还要再进一步具体一点说说吧。How can we keep the conversation going? What should we say?
Well, I would say the best way to keep a conversation going and to avoid awkward silence is to show your interest in the topic.
Okay. Show our interest to what the other person is talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. But what should we say to show our interest?
Well, there's different things you can say, but one of the most basic is, oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting. 很有趣，是吗？
Yeah.
有意思。
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to watch your tone.
That's right.
Yeah, like 前一阵在网上很火的说，外交部的华姐说 How interesting.
Yeah.
This is completely different.
Yeah. If we say, oh, interesting, it means it's not interesting.
So it means 呵呵.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And if we say, oh, that's interesting, this is stronger and it shows actual interest. So your tone is very important.
是的，所以大家一定要注意这个语调。我们来复习一下。How interesting.
Now, even if you don't, you can say that you don't understand something. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't really get that.
Yeah. So you are asking the other person to get the conversation going, to explain himself.
Right, and so they will say it again, and you have time to think of your response.
Yes.
So another way you can say is to use a word like cool.
Cool. 这是一个万能的单词，万能的一个回答 right? Almost a good response to anything.
I got a new haircut.
Cool.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. 也是一个非常好的回答，就是你说这个不错，说得对。It means like you are encouraging the other people to talk more.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're listening.
Yes.
This is the important part.
Yeah.
You're listening.
That's a good point.
I never thought about it that way.
Oh, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
就是说，我怎么没想到呢？这我真没想到。
Good to know.
Good to know. 幸亏知道了，幸亏你告诉我了 right?
That's right.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
好了，今天就是我们讲到的3种方法啊，来让避免我们成为一个 conversation killer, right?
Yeah.
我们不要成为话题终结者。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
Well, thank you for joining today's Morning English. This is Colin.
This is Winter.
See you.
Have a good day.